Good afternoon, Adita Felt here, wanting to talk with you today about how to recognize a professional medium. You can't tell a professional medium by the way they dress, but you can tell something about them by the way they talk, and when you're talking with them on the telephone or in person, you'll be able to get a sense of whether or not they are able to give you the information that you need to have from them to get a good reading. In order to get a good reading from a professional psychic or medium, you don't want to give any information out ahead of time except for your name and your telephone number. I don't want, when people contact me for a reading, I don't want to know who you want to talk to on the other side for spirits. It's really important to me not to know, because if I do have that information, it's information that I have to discard or move out of the way in order to do a good reading. So when you call a psychic medium, you don't want to give that kind of information, just your name, your telephone number, or email address. I also suggest that when you contact a psychic medium, if the medium asks you questions, what we call fishing, that isn't a person that you would like to have a reading with, because if a psychic or medium is adding leading questions or fishing for information at any time, either on the telephone, when you meet with he or she in person, or during the reading, then I would say that might be a problem with getting an accurate, unbiased, and genuine reading from your family members and friends on the other side. So I always tell my clients when they call me up on the phone that I want to ask them to record the reading. I do that because when you're getting a reading from a professional psychic medium, I'm giving you information about 4 or 5 different areas of your life, and if you're sitting here trying to take notes like this, it's very distracting for you and very distracting for me. And it's just too easy to get lost in the process. So I ask people to record the readings that they have with me, and I think most reputable psychic mediums would have no problems with your recording the reading that is being done. If they do have a problem, I would say that's not a psychic medium you would want to go with. If I were getting a psychic reading, I wouldn't go with someone who wouldn't let me record. You can get a very good psychic reading or mediumship reading over the telephone or on Skype. Different mediums work in different ways. When I'm doing a psychic reading with someone on the telephone or on Skype, I need to see a picture that shows me this part of the face. I need to see the eyes, because for me, the eyes are the window of the soul. And that makes it easier for me to connect with the spirits around the person that I'm reading for. I would like to suggest to you that there is no particular price that says this person, that reflects that this person is a good psychic medium. There are prices all across the continuum. If you feel that financially you can't get or can't afford to get a reading with so-and-so, you have other options. You can go to a local spiritualist church. You can contact that psychic medium and ask if they can do a payment plan. You can even do barter with some psychic mediums. And there are sites on the internet where you can get free readings from reputable psychic mediums. I would suggest to you that you're looking for someone who has an open mind. You're looking for someone who is not going to try to persuade you to become some member of some society or some church. That's not what a good psychic medium does. A good psychic medium also won't read for you in a bar. So if you happen to be in a bar or a club and someone comes over to you and starts giving you information and says they're a psychic medium, take their name and telephone number and call them back when they're sober and you're sober. I do have information, or information has been given to me about some people who do this in bars. I just don't think that's a good connection. A good psychic medium will not read for you when he or she has been drinking or is under the influence of any drugs other than prescription drugs. one way to tell whether or not the medium that you're working with or want to work with is a reputable medium is to ask other people. The best way to find out about good psychic mediums is to ask your friends. Who have you had a psychic reading with that you really liked? Or what medium have you gone to that's been very helpful? I think that word of mouth is the best advertising that there is, and I recommend that you ask around. You can also look on the internet and see what you can find out about people on the internet. You can go to the local spiritualist church. There are so many choices that are out there. You just want to make sure that you're working with a reputable person. Now, I will say that if you ask someone, you ask someone to your house and you're doing a psychic party, and after that person leaves, you find out that everybody in the house had the same reading when she took them off into the corner. That person is not a reputable medium. You probably didn't get a very good reputation from doing that kind of work. So my suggestion to you, again, is ask your friends and look around and see who you read about and who you hear about, because that's the best way to tell whether or not the person you're considering getting a reading from is a reputable person. Let's see, what else other no-nos are there? A reputable psychic medium does not do drugs, does not do alcohol the day of a reading, usually not even the night before a reading, and does not, and if that person is at a party, doing readings at a party, they don't drink, they don't smoke pot or do anything else that the other folks at the party are doing, because they are there to be centered and to be helping you to connect with your friends and family in spirit. Also, just because someone says it's your grandmother coming through or it's your grandfather coming through, that's not good enough. You want other characteristics, other identifying characteristics that will help you to know if that is in fact your grandmother or your grandfather. And so when I'm doing a psychic reading, I'm looking for very particular characteristics. I want to know, is it a male? Is it a female? Is it from mother's side of the family? Is it from father's side of the family? Does it feel like a grandfather, or does it feel like a grandmother? And if it feels like a grandmother or a grandfather, I'm going to go further. I'm going to ask them, well, what is your name? Where did you live? What did your house look like? What are the favorite foods that you used to eat or the favorite foods that you used to cook? This allows people who come to me for a reading to identify the person that's coming through more specifically. And a good psychic medium is not just going to say, well, your grandfather's coming through. A good psychic medium is going to give you a message that's meaningful from your grandfather or your grandmother or your pet friend on the other side. It will be a meaningful message for you, and it will make sense to you. If it isn't making sense to you and you're not feeling good about it, I would suggest that you end the reading right then and there, and I would ask for my money back. I just think that all of these different characteristics are ways that I can identify someone for them when they come to me for a reading. I get information like, well, this person's genetic background was from England or from Lithuania or whatever. I get information such as, well, they had a small dog, or they drove a panel truck for work, or I see this person working with furnaces. This person was a furnace man. Those are the kinds of information coming through a psychic medium that will help you to identify your family member without a doubt. And that's the kind of information that you want in a good psychic mediumship reading. I want to say thank you for checking in with me today, and here's hoping that you find a good psychic medium and get a good reading from the psychic medium that you find. Have a great day. Bye.